One thing I'm noticing around the internet a lot of the time, and mainly on YouTube, is these people that are basically saying like how we should get off like social platforms like Twitter, TikTok, and etc. Right? These platforms are very much funded by big corpos that have definitely made the websites worse in order for them to get more attraction, and mainly, most of all, to get annoyed. To not have discourse, to always have rivalry, and they profit off of this. It's just sad. But the thing that always has bothered me about them talking about it is not the discourse itself. The thing that's bothering me about this discourse is always that they always talk about how social media or social platforms or socials, like the ones I said, are very much the place that a lot of this happens, and how like they are basically ruining the internet and basically making those parts like Twitter and TikTok and whatever as like part of the internet. And I have to disagree wholeheartedly, because no, they're not part of the internet completely. Well, yes, there are definitely big contributors to the internet, like specifically Reddit and 4chan, but I feel like a lot of this discourse just mainly comes around the fact that a lot of these websites have gotten worse. A lot of these websites have gotten really rage baity and very much are trying to get your attention because, that's what makes the most money. And the thing that frustrates me is that a lot of the time, always people say, oh, you should get off social media. Oh, you should get off Instagram. Oh, you should get off TikTok. And it obviously makes your mental health better. I've not used TikTok. I've not used Twitter in a long time, almost 4 years practically. And I have not used Facebook or TikTok or Instagram a lot of the time. I just have them, but I just don't really use them. And I think that the thing that bothers me a lot of this is because they act like those social media platforms, those social platforms, are basically the internet as a whole. Which, like I said, no, it's not like that. And I wonder, why do they act like that? Because when I was younger, in my olden back days, I remember the internet not being about that. I remember the internet more so being about, websites, forum posts, and sometimes social media. Or like MySpace, where it was basically just a website creating blog group. Or like Newgrounds. Like Newgrounds was definitely really popular because it's definitely a lot more stretchy, a lot more creatively open, and definitely helps a lot of people. But like, why are we always focusing on Instagram and Snapchat and like why those platforms in general? I remember the internet like that being a lot more looser and a lot more free, if I'm gonna be real. And I think this just mainly comes from just two things I think particularly have made the internet a really just more shallow and more uncreative place. And that's just the fact that it's super easy to use Twitter and Instagram and just like these big social platforms that I'm gonna put on screen. Like Twitter, you just need to scroll and type. Well, typing is big, but like you just need to scroll and it'll give it to you. And TikTok is way worse because literally all you need to do is scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and then you'll find something that's interesting, and then bam, you'll watch it, which is kind of sad. The sense of exploring around the internet has definitely been dumbed down by these websites. Like, I'm seriously speaking of experience. Like, I've definitely researched a lot of the art or a lot of the tweets that I wanted to find, but a lot of time I was just scrolling, and honestly, a lot of the time it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. It was just really mind-numbing that I just definitely just started to stop using it. I just started trying it with my friends. And I always see people always talking about how like, oh man, I used to scroll so much and this and that. Like scroll so much TikTok for like 5 hours. It's like 5 hours? What? How can you do that? That's insane. And I think this just kind of comes from the fact that, these platforms are very much a commodity. If you get hooked on them, that's basically all you need to do to find the stuff you want. Just scroll away. And it's sad because I genuinely miss the time where you need to do stuff in order to find stuff. Like, don't get me wrong here, the convenience of just like not being able to do something, but it's gonna get tiresome. It's going to just, get boring, and just you're not really gonna find anything interesting. You may find a funny meme, you may find something interesting, but realistically speaking, you're not really doing anything than just scrolling. You're not discussing music with people. You're not talking. Well, I did used to do that. I used to discuss a lot of music with a lot of people. I mean, I'm a huge music fan. And just seeing these posts just makes me really just not depressed, more so confused on what a lot of these people are trying to do and always talk about. And I think the second part that I don't think a lot of people talk about is that yes, these websites have gotten worse, but also they're kind of like the initiator of the problem. Like, okay, you guys complain about how like these social platforms are always like dangerous and like, oh, how horrible, and they're rage baiting and everything, but they still keep going in them. Why? You know that these platforms are bad. Why do you keep going in these platforms? It never made sense to me. That's why I stopped using Twitter. Because, like, why am I gonna commit myself into this lavish pit of inferno that I just don't want to be here? It's like, what the frick is the point? Just it's stupid. And just generally speaking, I think people just need to realize this really simple, important thing. A lot of the time, you can do the responsibility yourself. Like, I never understood why people don't take responsibility for the things that they themselves are responsible for. And I think that's why the internet has become such a commodity. The internet is being dumbed down into becoming more so a main thing for mainstreamers, for open people. And you may say, oh, that sounds like a good idea. What's the problem with that? Well, the thing is, when you have much more of a beginner type thing, it's gonna get dumbed down, and it's definitely gonna make things worse. Dumbing down isn't a problem. It's only dumbing down things that very much didn't need to be dumbed down, and it's making it more easier for people to access. And a lot of the time, being more accessible can be a bad thing because it just invites the worst type of people to enter the website and just spout out the worst things ever. Like, you ever wonder why, like, Elon Musk or like a lot of these giant conglomerates very much just make the social platforms works and more accessible for everybody? That's the thing. A lot of the time, it was because they just wanted more money. They wanted to have more people in these platforms just to, rage bait and, assault people's eyes, because, that's a lot of the time what the business is doing. I just don't understand why so many people are just complaining about how social media and, social platforms and just like Twitter and everything are getting worse, but they still keep using them, and the companies are making more money because they are just staying in the platform, looking for artists. And it's like, you can find more, like Newgrounds, or heck, even Discord. Like, I know that sounds stupid, like Discord, but, there's probably some really great artists that are definitely going out of their way. Maybe go on to some different websites, blog posts, or just don't really look at those posts. Like, you can probably find some interesting artists on YouTube and some YouTube videos about artists, or you can find artists that talk about art or anything else. Like, you don't just have to use the big websites. Don't trust big websites. The real reason is because they're not really made for, to entertain anymore. They're very much made to make a profit. And generally speaking, if you keep going to those websites intentionally knowing that these people are going to take advantage of you, then there shouldn't be a point into just like continuing. A lot of the time, they're going to get you. They're going to get your eyes, they're going to squish them and just say, hey, here's your new brand of eyes, and it's just disgusted, used, and putrid, just waste. Because a lot of the time, that's what you're seeing on a lot of these platforms, is just waste. There's nothing new, there's nothing to be excited about, because a lot of the time it's just fear-mongering, rage bait, extremism, and just general lack of enjoyment. In my opinion, I think people just need to very much stay away from this idea that these big social media platforms are the internet. They're not the internet. They're not the internet. They are part of the internet, but they're not the internet. A lot of the time, it's a community that's doing something stupid. And the other part is a community that's trying to get your attention. More money, more attention. The more users, the more stupid people that come into this platform and very much ruin it for a lot of us. I wanted to just talk about this because it really does bother me how a lot of people treat like the websites that they're watching. Just generally speaking, just like they're treating it like, social media and like this is always no, it's never been like that. It's always been about the money. It's always been about getting a bigger buck than you're bargained for. Thank you for watching. God bless you. And have a good day.